Afternoon and welcome to Win It Wednesday. My name is Lisa and I'm one of the co-founders of Magnolia Design Company, and I am here today to do a project with you and to do a giveaway. So today, every Wednesday is Win It Wednesday with Magnolia Design Company, and what we do is we just ask you a simple question and you'll find it up in the body of the description of this live, and you just answer in the comments. Just tell me what the answer is, and feel free to comment the entire time to me. Let me know where you're watching from if this is your first time. But let's get down to business. The stencil that you could win today is a retired stencil called Daily Bread. This is one of my all-time favorites. I love to see this done with like almond latte chalk paste. There's some other really fantastic colors, depends on what the background is, but this is what you can win today. So the question for the day is, what is your favorite food to make for Christmas? Okay? One more time. What is your favorite food? I'm thinking too much. To make for Christmas. All right. All right. Well, I hope you win Daily Bread. All right, so let's get down to our project for the day. Today we are going to be working on Christmas trees. So this is our Christmas tree farm. I love this stencil. It harkens back to yesteryears, and so I want to put it on a tray. And the tray that I've chosen, I took some inspiration from some of the other folks who have used this tray in the past on projects. And this tray comes in a wonderful box. This is just our 12 by 18 wood tray. Let me set this aside, and it has, you can see the profile, and it's got wood handles, and I'm going to jizz it up a little bit. We're going to make it look cool, just make it pop a little bit more, make it say more of Christmas, and you see how this is going to fit on there perfectly. So let's get going with that. The very first thing I'm going to do is I've got this whole mess of chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the front. Now I'm not going to fully paint it. I'm just going to lightly paint it, and I am going to, I guess, kind of maybe like a little bit of a wash. Okay. And so in order to do that, I am going to use some baby wipes to help me along. First, I'm going to use a chip brush, or I'll just get this little brush. You can get these just about anywhere. So I've got a brush and a paintbrush, and I am just kind of run it across the board. Now, for me, there's really no rhyme or reason to how you do this, and you can put on as little as or as much as you want. Or if you love this board the way that it comes, leave it alone. I just felt like with this stencil on this board, which I really wanted to use, it needed a little bit of pop. So when I say pop, I'm talking about I need to think of the background or the surface, right? And I also need to think about the details on the stencil that I'm going to be using, as well as the chalk paste. And for this project, I've decided the chalk paste is going to be like our shimmer black or glitter black, and I'm going to use a combination of fern green and our olive green. All right, so I'm going to come up here and get the tops too, or the sides. And then I am going to just take my baby wipe and just kind of spread it around. Now this is going to give it more of a wash look, and it doesn't look so stark. I'll show you in just a second here. Who here has used the baby wipe method before? Let me know in the comments if this is something you enjoy doing. Now, since I've got this up here, I'm actually going to put a little bit on the rope. I think that's going to give it a cool color, a cool effect. I just put a little bit on the twine or rope, okay? And you don't need to put on as much paint as I did. Obviously, the more you take off, or the more you put on, if you want just a little bit of a look, obviously the more you're going to have to take off, right? So I've got plenty still on this baby wipe, so I'm going to go ahead and get the sides. I'm not going to bother with the back for now. So I'm just going to get the sides, and I can come in here and pick up more of that paint because I did put quite a lot. And since I'm already sort of putting a little bit of paint on this twine, the handle, I'm not going to worry about getting it on the edges here. See, when I come in, I'm not going to worry about being so careful around that twine because I've already got some on the twine to kind of make it look a little bit aged as well. But you do want to get in and around the holes where the twine is, okay? You don't want to leave it sort of naked, so to speak. All right, let me get a little more off. I really put on a lot of paint. You guys should have stopped me. All right. Yeah, this baby white method I think is really good. I used to use this all the time. And then I kind of went to more of a chipped kind of a thing, but I go back and forth over the things that I like. This baby white's definitely seen better days. All right, let me get this side and then I think we'll be done. Okay. All right, now I am going to just go over it real quick because I do have so much on there with a paper towel just to kind of dry it quickly. And I'm going to show you what this looks like in just a second, and you are going to see why I chose to do it this way versus a plain white. Now, you can, go ahead and paint it, and if you choose, then you can sand some off, or you can do like a crackle effect. I was just going for this. Look how nice that looks. It is like just a real subtle whitewash. Now, after this, I am going to go in, and I'll do the bottom bud. Just to save some time, I won't make you guys watch me do the bottom. Let me just kind of clean up the sides here. How's everybody doing? We are busy, busy, busy around here, gearing up for the season. It is going to be a wonderful one. I love, 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 love Christmas. Okay, so let me dry it a little bit, and then we'll get into applying the stencil, okay? Yeah, so in the comments, just let me know what is your favorite food to make for Christmas, okay? I love the way that this is turning out. I love this whitewash look. And, I know we go through fads and phases with home decor. I love this one. I love where it doesn't look like stark white. It's more of like a muted or a worn or a weathered kind of look. This kind of weathered look on this board, this would be perfect, a perfect board for any like sea scene, like anything, a beach house, a lake house also. Not just this Christmas tree, but I do love that I decided to put a little bit of white on the handles themselves. Have you guys done that before? When I started doing that, when I accidentally, my first time, accidentally got a little bit of paint on the twine, and I'm like, I'm not changing that thing out. We're just going to roll with it. And I really liked it. Okay, I think we are good to go. Now, since this is just a whitewash, and essentially I've just gone over with a baby white, it's not the same as paint. So yes, you do need to dry it, but no, it doesn't take as long. I'm just going a little bit longer because when I did it, I used the baby white pretty heavily, so it's got a little bit of, moisture on there. All right, so this, it is actually called Christmas Trees. It's 12 by 18, and this stencil, actually when I was creating this stencil, I had a vision for what it would be, and I could not, get away from this whole vintage look of this sea. If you guys remember the Merry Christmas sign, stencil, it was called Merry Christmas 2020. My absolute favorite, because it's, it's vintage, plus it took me many hours to make, but it is one of my favorites. This one kind of reminds me of it, in that it's that old, it's that vintage look. And this is going to be beautiful. All right, so I've got my stencil, and I am going to go ahead and fuzz it. So I'm gonna use my tacky towel and I'm just going to peel back about half of it. That's just a little trick. You can do this or not. Some people feel like the bigger stencils are a little bit more difficult to work with. So I have got half the stencil on my tacky towel. Now I'm going to flip it over, and then I am going to take my backing paper off and put that aside for later. See, now I've got my entire stencil on this tacky towel, and I am just going to peel it up a little bit at a time. Let's do that side, and then I'll do this side. We're just pulling up a little bit of lint so that we can, so it doesn't stick, you know, so it's not so hard to pull up from our surface. If this was a fabric piece, then I wouldn't need to do that. I actually don't need to, but I would definitely need to if it was glass. If it was like a super smooth non-porous surface, I would definitely want to. All right, so I'm going to take this stencil. You guys, be careful not to stick the backs to each other. If you do, just be calm. Take it to your sink and run some cool water. Run it under cool water and gently pull it apart. All right, so I am going to place it where I want it, and thankfully it fits like just right in there. And I'm going to smooth it down. Sometimes on these boards, let me see if I've got one. I do. I have a little bit of a bump, but that was from something else. Maybe that's on my stencil. Oh, it was from the lint. Okay. Sometimes these boards could use a little bit of, okay, that's definitely in there somewhere. Got a little piece of granule or something. I don't like that. I like to smooth it out and feel that it's smooth. You know what I'm saying? All right, so a couple reasons. I don't want any air bubbles, and I don't want anything like mess up my stencil. I could wash it off and do it again, but hey, we're doing a one and done. So, all right, so I've got it on there really good. Sometimes when you paint a wood surface like this, it does raise the grain a little bit. So if you let it dry fully and you just run a piece of sandpaper over it, you'll be good to go. I am just gonna move forward and we are gonna see what happens, okay? All right, so I have got, this is what we have so far. I can't wait to see it. All right, so what I'm thinking is I have this, so this is the army green. Isn't that pretty? And I have got a fern green, but I just feel like I want something in between, like in the middle, and I don't have a piece like that. So I'm just going to use our trays. We have a 24 pack of trays, and it's just for this purpose, and also like if you do classes or whatever. And I'm going to take some and put it on there, some of each color, about what I think I'm going to need, and I'm going to mix them up. And I'm going to mix them up to get that muted yet nice green color, you know. I didn't want it to be too light or too stark. All right. I'll mix it up and then I'll show you what I've got. And I'm thinking this is going to be plenty. Yep, I like that. That is a good color. You see how that's, let me get a little bit more of this. You can see how that's really neither color. And it really wouldn't hurt if I put dots of different colors in the trees. Maybe I'll do that. All right, so there's my new color. I think I will do that now that I'm thinking about it. I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a hot mess in the trees by just putting, and I'm going to show you in a sec, just putting dots of the darker color. And, you know, I don't know how this is going to turn out. We're going to find out, right? We're doing this together. All right, and let's do a little bit of a light color too. All right. This is going to be something different. You know, we'll see how it turns out. There's FedEx guy. All right. All right. Do you see how I have those dots on there? And I just did it every now and then with them. All right. So now I'm going to take my squeegee, and what I think I'm going to do is, or what I'm definitely going to do is I'm going to do the trees and Christmas tree. So like right here and up, I'm going to do the green. Okay. And down below, I'm going to use this, it's called Glittering Black. All right, so let's go for it. I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the tray and onto my surface, onto my stencil. Now, I am just raking it across. I'm not going to you know, push into it, especially because it's a raised, you know, it could be raised a little bit because it is a wood surface and that I just painted it. So let's try that hot mess technique on these trees. I'm just going over it with that same green, see what happens. Okay, looks like I'm gonna make it. Looks like I'm gonna make it. I'm like, oh, did I mix it up? Okay, so what you want to do is put it on and then scrape it off, right? Less is more. All right, I'm so excited to see this. And what I'm going to do next is, when I'm done with these trees and the writing, when I'm done with the green, essentially, I'm going to show you how to work with a large stencil that has a lot of detail. This stencil has a lot of small and fine lines, and I don't want you to be afraid of that, but I do want you to know that you do need to work at a pretty decent pace, because you don't want the paste to dry inside the stencil, right? All right, so let me set this mixture aside. Now, when you're working with a large stencil, what I do is I like to just pull it up and pull it back. Oh, it turned out pretty. All right, so that I can expose the part that I just did. Now I'm gonna lay it back down. The reason I'm doing that is my chalk paste is no longer in my stencil screen. I'm gonna do that here on this side. Now I've got a little more time to work with this other stuff. I've got this, what I just tell you is glittering black. I've got the glittering black, and now I'm going to go over the words at the bottom with the glittering black, and then we're gonna take a look at, we're gonna see what it looks like. I'm super excited for this one because I want to put this one out for guests because I think it's going to be beautiful. It's I have some china that I got from my great aunt Mary Lay after she passed, and well, my Uncle Mel, and I put it out, but it is Old Country Rose, and it is they got it when they were visiting overseas, and it was my pattern when I got married, but I only ever got one because it's so flipping expensive. But I love their story and how they got it, and I was able to get it too. And now they had like 16 place settings, and so that's perfect for my family. And so I got them all, and I think this like goes with that whole theme. All right, so now let me do the peel and reveal on the black. I'm gonna peel that up. You guys, this just turned out so stinking perfect. I'm gonna put this off to the side, and I'm just going to attach it to my table for now. I'll wash it in just a few minutes. Okay, I want to show you guys what it looks like. What do you think? Isn't that beautiful? I love the whitewash. Again, like I said, it just makes the whole thing pop. I love the fact that these handles have a little bit of white on them as well. It just kind of ties it in. So let me know what you think about my project, what I'm going to do to seal this in so that I can actually use it as a tray. You put some wet stuff on it. I don't want to reconstitute the paste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with a couple of very light coats of polyacrylic sealer. Okay, I usually go this way, and then I'll let it dry, and I'll come back this way. Very light coats, okay, just a misting. Then I'll come back and do it again. And then what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna serve food on it, I like to put just a layer, after it is all sealed in, I put a layer of dishwasher safe Mod Podge. This is a matte finish, and I kind of like this matte finish, so I might finish it with just some regular matte Mod Podge, and that would do the trick. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.